What are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
Hey,
it's a month.
We're on YouTube now.
Oh, the tube of you.
Yeah,
I apologize.
Yeah, this is YouTube.
Sorry.
Hey, it's NWO Machine, and this is Vader from Wish.
Hello.
And if you're wondering what we've looked like, we apologize.
We're far too pretty. That's why we got to keep these masks on.
Too many DMs coming in. Too many catfish contacting us.
I don't lose half my stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I got nice stuff.
So listen, we got a great show lined up for you today.
Yeah,
we even had a special guest call in.
That's right.
Who I didn't even realize had the number to the show.
Yeah, I don't know how we got it.
Yeah, we got Long Route.
Must be on a bathroom wall somewhere. I don't know.
That's your number.
No.
Long Route Willy.
Long Route Willy will be our guest.
Long Route Willy.
And we have the randomizer.
We have the randomizer. If you don't know what the randomizer is, it's it randomizes numbers, and we talk about different wrestlers. Yeah. It could be Triple H versus
the Crusher,
Yokozuna. It could be
Nick Bockwinkel. Rock and Roll Buck Zumhoff.
Yeah,
you never know.
You never know who's coming up with the randomizer. So check out the YouTube channel. You can find the link to our what do we call those things? The Twitter.
The Twitter.
The Twitter. That's at Vader from Wish, and I am at NWO
Machine. Underscore. At NWO underscore machine.
How did you forget?
I lost it.
Yeah, underscore.
I'm sorry. I panicked.
You know what?
It's the YouTube.
I would chop you, but that's too tight.
Yeah, that's why you're like, I can't reach. So.
I'm lucky. A couple weeks from now, I'm going to get it. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to the YouTube channel. Give us some feedback down below. Be nice.
Be nice, please.
And until next time.
He's very sensitive.
I'm very sad. I just want to be held.
Tell him.
I just told him I want to be held.
Yeah, but you gotta give him your line, your ending line. What are they supposed to do?
Listen, you guys go listen to the show. I'm going to argue with him for a little while.
No. Keep kicking out, everybody.
That's my line.
Well, today it's my line.
You can't say that all
Sorry.
Do you have a face for a dark room? Do people tell you you're ugly? Have you ever looked in the mirror and it cracked? Have you ever been to the zoo and people throw peanuts and food at you? Well, let me tell you what. Why don't you check out Mark's Wrestling Masks on Facebook? That's MARC''S. Mark's Wrestling Masks on Facebook, because that's who keeps our ugly mugs covered too. Welcome to the Shiz Show with your hosts, Vader from Wish and NWO Machine and NWO Cat.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking. The Rock says.
Well, if you smell what the Rock is cooking, you know what? I don't know about you, Vader, but I miss the old themes.
Yeah, same.
Right? They had some meat and potato to them, and the guys had something about them. Even now, some of the guys come out, I'm like, I mean, I know who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think, I would download it to work out to LA Knight's theme kind of thing. Whereas the Hogan Real American, you can do some solid work. And
do anything to that song.
Yeah, I do. I must admit that, what the blue hell?
What?
Why is the hotline ringing? Did you give our number out?
Bliss.
Oh,
must have been him.
No good, Bliss.
Let's giving out our number. You better answer it. You're close to the phone.
Yeah, hang on.
I can't reach.
Yeah. You and your Tyrannosaurus Rex hands. Hang on here. Let's hit the button. Hello, this is Shooting the Shiz. Who's calling?
It's Long Route Willy calling you.
Long Route Willy! Come on!
Finally!
Yeah! Oh, I forgot I gave you my number. I forgot I gave you the real number. So, well, it's nice to have you call in.
You're welcome.
We're actually just starting to record. You want to join you want to be the first random Rumble entrant this week?
Sure, why not?
Okay, well, long story short, I have known Long Route Willy for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in a past life, we actually worked together, and we could never find Long Route Willy, but apparently he was a good sleeper.
He was on the long route.
He was on the long route, and he stayed on that path, and I decided to move on. And some people are successful, and other people's are like
sitting
me
in my basement doing a podcast.
So Willy, here's a question. We'll just start since we're talking old school, and I know you like the old school stuff. I mean, we have the Rock's entrance theme today. Do you kind of agree? We were chatting here about that old school entrance themes kind of had some good meat and potatoes to them, where today's ones are more like rock tunes or you'd find on iMusic or Spotify.
Oh, totally agree with you. Totally agree.
Yeah.
The the new stuff, to me, it's just bland. It's, you know, they put a little more thought into doing it back then. Even their promos and everything, like you guys were talking about last week.
Yeah. Like I find that the new music, and that's a great word. You use bland,
Yes.
like the talent is.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas when Tugboat came out, we knew
We knew it was a tugboat.
we knew it was a tugboat. Yeah.
Even I was just watching Dark Side of the Ring. They did Doink.
Oh yeah.
And Doink. Like, there's another one. He comes out, and you got the circus music, and you knew it was Doink coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely did. I mean, not that today's guys. I'm assuming like Willy's. He watches a lot of wrestling too. I mean, you obviously know some of the. Actually, to be honest with you, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, and the
Imperium.
Well, I know Imperium the minute that first two bars hit, but I never know Liv Morgan.
Hers is like she does that laugh.
Yeah,
You got that dun, 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 and then the laugh. Oh, yeah, it's Liv.
It's Liv, and the same thing. Like, we talk about Rodriguez. Like, I'm just some of these.
I think it's just the taco truck pulling up outside. I don't know when I hear her music. So.
Don't say that. Willie will be hungry right away. We got to get him through half an hour.
Okay.
What, Willie? Do you have a favorite theme on today's music? Like of today's wrestlers? Is there one you could pick out?
The modern wrestlers?
Yeah.
Not really.
See?
In all honesty.
Well,
Yeah.
Seth, I guess.
Oh
Seth
yeah.
Rollins.
Well, and again, Seth is pretty good with the audience participation.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we know Seth. But I guess Brock Lesnar.
A little bit, yeah.
But
Sammy, that ska music that
Yeah,
comes on, so you
Sammy
hear those trumpets.
now.
And,
Now you kind of know with the music going on. But so that's the scoop. So Willie, you have listened to the show. You know how much we love Roman Reigns. I just want to talk about this today. That Roman Reigns has now passed Pedro Morales
On Friday.
Yeah.
Unreal.
And I just like this is my thought process. You could give me your thought process, and Vader will have his. That he doesn't wrestle. Like you could, he's basically taken that
He's
belt.
the champ in quotes, but he hasn't defended it. Like
Back in the day, it was like Pedro Morales. He had no choice but to throw it on the line every 30 days, or it became vacated. And now we're going into over 60 days where Roman Reigns has put his title on the line.
I mean, I think even Hogan would defend it on like the Saturday morning, like against some jobber.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not for a non-championship belt, but he wrestled.
Yeah, yeah. He would put it on the line, and people would say, like, how did Ed from Pickle Shack get a match? But he got it.
30 days.
Yeah. I mean, Willie, are you a fan of this Roman Reigns or what?
No.
Thank you.
Not at all. I totally agree with you guys. Nowadays, these guys sit on these belts for days, weeks, years, in his case, and it's bogus, man. They should have to defend it on a regular basis.
And against somebody, like,
not the same program time and time again.
Yeah, not the same program. Are you now? How about this? I know you watch a lot of it. I'm not sure if Vader caught this week's SmackDown. I caught bits and pieces, but is everybody? Is everybody happy with this bloodline split?
Crowd seems to like it. I'm okay with it. I think it was starting to run its course.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a good or entertaining fraction to begin with, unless they would have brought in more. Like I was reading on the Wrestling Insider, they were talking about the rest of their family, like the Tonga twins and their cousins, the two female twins that are. I watched part of it. I think it was on WoW or something like that. I caught a thing on it on the box, and it was like, you know what? Bring more people in if you're going to do it. Like, create a real fraction, not just four guys.
Yeah, I'm the like I don't know, Vader. Did you see that? Now they're coming out. Now the Jimmy and Jay, they hold hands and hold up the.
I didn't see the hold hand thing.
Yeah, well, it's Pride Month, so they're holding up the hands. But again, now just what Willie said to me is a good thing. Now hang on. We got the bloodline. The program has split. Now, are we still going to see the bloodline? Now it's versus the Usos, right?
Or are they going to keep like Willie's saying they got a lot more people to bring in?
Yeah.
Now maybe this will be their chance.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Willie is a fan of Solo Sikoa, I think.
Not really.
Aren't you? I thought you would be.
You know what? I thought he was interesting at the start, but homage to his uncle Umanga, but you know what? I would like to see him do a little more, speak a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of the same one-trick pony.
Do you think he was better in NXT, and since they've brought him up, he's lost some luster?
Yeah, like honestly, it seems like anybody they bring up from NXT kind of falls back to mid-low card for forever. You know.
Now let's talk one other guy from NXT, because Vader, I did watch what you talked about. You and I were messaging back and forth.
Yeah.
Willie, are you a fan of LA Knight?
I kind of like his shtick.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me talk to you.
Yeah, it's kind of like the old Mr. Anderson, and before him, Stone Cold.
Yeah, that's Vader's thing. But Vader watched, and I ended
Ray,
up, and I watched the Rey Mysterio match, and I felt that either I'm not sure what was going on. They were off that.
They were
night.
really off. So I
Both
don't know
of
if it
them.
was Ray. It did seem like both, but I mean, maybe that tells you why the guy, like, I think he's in his mid-30s.
Well, I think Ray's older than that.
No, not Ray.
Oh.
LA Knight, because
Yeah.
he was on some interview talking about how, you know, he's been around for a long time and finally things are happening for him. But maybe that's why they haven't really been happening. Like he's because he hasn't been in like that WrestleMania match with him and Bray Wyatt was kind of.
Yeah, but it's like Willie saying maybe they bring him up when they're hot in NXT, and then all of a sudden they've lost something when they come up. But yeah, some of the spots they were like the 619 got messed up, I think, twice.
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah,
Like,
and then there's one he tried pulling him over the ropes and completely he almost pulled him too far. And you know, Ray's doing like the yoga, the downward dog thing, and the you know.
So Willie, who would you push in today's world?
For talent?
Yeah,
now?
anybody. Like for you, is there someone we're missing that you think, you know what? Okay, we're getting, you know, these two dingleberries with half shirts now.
Oh yeah.
And,
Yes, boy.
Yeah, and so who like in NXT? I don't know who you'd bring anymore.
Yeah, there's not really a lot left. So.
Like who would you bring up to? Like why is Tiffany Stratton not up? I don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're getting Shotzi, who goes nowhere week after week.
Right.
Why not bring a Tiffany Stratton, who's huge on Twitter? Or maybe they're not bringing her up because of Ludwig.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Ludwig Kaiser, her boyfriend.
He must be giving her the Kaiser there.
Yeah.
But
Braun Breaker, I think they could probably bring up too, because they brought guys down and they've put on a good match.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's about the only guy in NXT right now I can see them trying to bring up would be Breaker. He seems to have the physique and the work ability for it, but other than that, right now, honestly, it's to me, it's very static.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just nothing. So, now I know you're the old school guy. What do you miss in today's world that we had back in the day as we sit on the porch and yell at kids?
You know, the kayfabe. I was just reading about that, and when I thought about it, I went, you know what? That's what you miss, because now you know it's, you know, granted as a kid when we were younger back then, you know, when they would deliver the milk with the horse and carriage. You know, you believe that Nick Bockwinkel was truly a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
You believed, here's an old one from the past, Jerry Blackwell.
Oh yeah.
You know, one of the first real big men who could actually fly. You know, you know, those guys, they were believable as bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Hey, what about this one, Willie? What about this one? I'll give you the claw, and that's all the people need to know. I mean, I believed if I ran into this guy somewhere in a market, my head would explode.
Yeah, he'd smash my head, just squish it. So.
You know what? I had a buddy who's 15 years older than me. He partied with the Crusher one night after an old AWA match at the Polo Park Inn.
Oh, wow.
Come on.
He came in, he had the freaking empty keg on his shoulder, had the cigar in his mouth and everything like that. They partied with him. It was awesome.
That would have been fun.
That would have been a great time for sure. All right. So, Willie, as you know from last week, you are basically our first guest of the show here as this random Rumble entrant. So you are in our Rumble now.
Well, now that we figured this out, how to get gas,
Yeah,
I'm sure the Rebel's going to want. He's already got a segment lined up. What grinds the Rebels' gears?
Well, Grinder is Rebels gear.
Oh.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Yeah.
No, I just messaged that filthy Rebel today.
Good.
Well, I needed a cork. I need a cork for. I actually have Rebel whiskey.
Oh.
And it's an empty bottle now.
Oh, okay.
Because I had the Rebel over one night as a guest, and but I need the cork for the top so I can refill it.
Oh.
Because I don't want to throw away the bottle because you can't get these, because cancel culture, you can't have the Rebel flag on anything.
Oh, no.
Except my whiskey, damn
right.
it. So we're going to have the random Rumble. Willie, as you know, Vader's got the randomizer.
Yeah.
We're going to hit the randomizer. We talk about a wrestler in case you haven't done it yet. In case we talk about a wrestler, we hit it again. We talk about the second wrestler, and then we have a fantasy match between the two.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so hang on. So Vader, go ahead and hit the randomizer. Yeah, hit the big button. All right. Number 34 has come up. Number 34, Triple H. So let's just all talk about Triple H for a second. Willie, what's your thoughts on Triple H?
You know what? I hated him as Hunter Hearst.
Yeah.
But when he became Triple H and he ate his former self to grow and get bigger, I thought he was actually good. He is a bad guy, and as a worker, I thought he put in effort in all his matches, and he was good promo as far as I was concerned compared to the guys nowadays. His promos and everything, even his entrance. You hear that music.
Yeah.
That's another one next, like to The Rock, where you know who it is. You got a little Motorhead going. You got Lemmy doing it. Like, what more could you ask for?
Yeah.
But, big mutton chops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vader?
I'm same opinion. I didn't really like the Hunter Hearst Helmsley gimmick. But then when he came back and I wouldn't say reinvented
with the
himself,
red coat and
all that garbage.
All,
but when he came back as the Game and he'd got all jacked, like he was off for a bit. I think he had an injury, and then I was actually excited when he came back. I'm like, holy cow, this guy! That was when they were doing that bodybuilding league, I think.
Oh, WBF.
Yeah. And then he came. I guess he was going to go into that or something, and he was jacked. I'm like, wow, he looks good. But yeah, he cut a promo. He had a good match. Like a lot of his matches were kind of the same flow, but they were good. Like it was entertaining. Hardly any botches. Like I can't think of too many botches with him involved.
No,
it was entertaining. It was, but I mean, that's how all the wrestling was back then.
Yeah, I would say that I'm kind of. I mean, I hated him as Hunter Hearst Helmsley with the bow and the Tinkerbell ponytail and the red coat. But there's another guy who I always say trust the process.
Yep,
you can't not trust it.
No.
And he did. He came back. Yeah, you're right. That bodybuilding thing came out, and he did come. He came from a bodybuilding background. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that, no.
But he was a bodybuilder prior to the Hunter Hearst Helmsley gimmick. And then, he really went into the bodybuilding for Vince, for whatever. And I think that's where Vince rewards the guys. He came back, he got the big push, and proved he could handle it.
And then he got his daughter. Yeah. Now he's got the company.
Yeah, he's got everything,
That's our problem. We didn't lift enough weights.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so he did work pretty hard.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I can't think of any botches. Like in my mind, I'm sure if we go back to a bunch of Hunter matches and really research this, we'd find. But again, there's other guys out there that we can go, forget it. I mean, the amount of botches that guy had, Adam Cole, number one. But anyway, that's our AEW mention for the week.
Yeah.
But Hunter was like Triple H was good. The again, entrance music, bang on. You knew, right, who it was right off the bat. And
the only thing I didn't like was you can kind of see when he was getting backstage power. So once he was on the top part of the politics, that's when I kind of started to not like him.
Yeah,
because it's just like I didn't like that with like the Click.
No,
I guess he's part of that. Yeah. So I just didn't really care for that whole thing because you see it in the even at indie level you see that going on, and it can be poisonous at times.
So here's a thought. So now he's Triple H. He's having some power in the back with his Click. Were you a fan when he brought China in, Willie?
You know what? Back then, it was interesting because she was totally different than any other manager, bodyguard they had. I think it was something that they were going to try, and it worked out great. Sadly, You know, she went a different road afterward.
Yeah.
And, you know, she got the long route tap. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's only maybe the other time I wasn't a big fan watching anything Triple H, because, again, I just, as much as I look back and we've talked about how great she was, and the innovator and bringing in like a female bodybuilder really into the mix, who could drop probably 90% of the guys.
Oh, for sure.
Right? And legit.
And the other one would have been that Nicole Bass.
Oh yeah, Nicole Bass.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think she's even a little bit bigger than her.
She was.
She was not as pretty.
No. She was definitely a handsome girl.
Yes.
But yeah, in Nicole, I forgot about Nicole Bass, how big she was.
Yeah.
That was a big chick. Yeah. So yeah, that's the only other time. So Hunter, I give Hunter good marks for doing what he did. Yeah. And even then, there's another guy came back from that nasty quad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And to show you how tough wrestlers are, he finished that match, I'm pretty sure. Look at Vince. He did both quads. He was still sitting, yelling, and dictating.
That was the best. When he flew him with his walk.
Yeah, and now
Conor McGregor walk.
like father, like son. So, all right. So now we're going to hit the randomizer again for our next random Rumble entrance. So hit the button there, Vader.
Hit it.
All right. You're not going to believe this, Willie. This is The Undertaker. So, Vader, we'll start with you this time. Vader, give us your Undertaker.
When he first came on, wow, absolutely loved him. Because we hadn't seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of all the supernatural type, I mean, I realize it's a gimmick, but a gimmick can only be so believable. And some of the other world stuff he was doing was kind of like, you're gay, it's enough already. So, but then when he came back as the American Badass with the biker gimmick, the only thing I didn't like about him is when he started to get into jiu-jitsu, and then he would try and do like a triangle choke on guys. And I still remember him in Viscera, who like a guy that big, it's pretty hard to get that on anyway. And he had to like move his legs for him. So it was pretty bad, but I wasn't a big fan of that because, MMA had its own thing, and it's not Japan where, you incorporate that a lot. I think if he hadn't gone to that, trying to throw those moves in, but everything else, great. Like he could fly, the walking the ropes thing, even though the guy's holding him, it still was cool because nobody was doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I couldn't walk a picket fence like if you were holding me, and never mind ropes that are moving.
We can go try it after.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I think you're a lot more nimble than you give yourself credit for.
Yeah, and being single, I don't need what's in the middle at this point, so who cares?
And if you want to stop every couple of feet and have a sit, hey, it's Pride Month.
Willie, Undertaker.
Yeah, you know what? I'm surprised I forgot about him. There was a guy, 30-plus years. He set the bar for everybody. He wasn't one of these guys that jumped ship and ran around, but his body of work, nobody could really touch him, and he has the respect of everybody.
Yeah, I think that's the whole key. What you just said, he never veered.
No,
right? He never left. Yeah, mind you, I think it would be tough. Looking back, like
how would you repackage him?
I don't know.
Like if he say he jumped the Turner back in the day, like so he's the Undertaker. He's going to do like
Gravedigger next.
Yeah, the Gravedigger.
Actually, Gravedigger was on their network.
Yeah.
But yeah, like how do you repackage? So maybe that was part of his reasoning for staying, or maybe
he was so over. Like
or maybe Vince said to him. Maybe at one point he was unhappy, and Vince said, "What are you going to do?
Yeah,
what are you going to do? I own the Undertaker."
Right.
Or you never know. Well, that could have been part of it. He might have had those clauses where he got paid. Like I know Kevin Nash and Scott Hall had a clause in Turner that anybody who came in, they had to get paid more.
Oh.
Yeah, which in turn bumped Hogan because Hogan is more than anyone.
Right.
So any new guy that came in, the Bret Harts, the Savages,
right.
Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were like, "Oh yeah, bring him in for $3 million." And Hogan is like, he's doing the earshot, going, "Yeah, bring him in." But yeah, Undertaker too. I never liked American Badass. To me, it's just Mark Calloway. It wasn't Undertaker, but I understand Undertaker might have been getting stale.
Yeah.
He did learn how to repackage himself and sort of maintain Undertaker-esque. And then, but it's like anything. Like right now, if you heard the bong pop, the crowd would be going berserk, right? So with American Badass, when he came out with the other music and now he went back to the Undertaker, we go berserk,
Right.
Because we miss that. It's almost as much as I'm not a fan of Goldberg. We pop for the intro, right?
Yeah.
Because it's someone from our past.
Yeah.
So yeah, I give huge props to the Undertaker. He got a little towards the end. It's like, okay, enough. But I understand why he was there, and I think he tried passing a torch to Bray Wyatt before Wyatt got hurt.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show today's guys. Do we miss Bray Wyatt?
I don't know.
Not really.
No, I didn't really watch him much. Like,
Do we miss Sasha Banks and Naomi?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Not at all. All right. So now our fantasy match, which is too bad. It's kind of these two guys who
because they've had lots.
They've had a lot. Yeah, I think we could probably roll over it. But let's just say today, if we were in today's ring, it's Undertaker, Triple H. Who wins, Willie?
Undertaker.
Vader?
Undertaker.
You're going with Undertaker?
I'm going with Undertaker.
Yeah, I don't think I don't. Just for what Willie was mentioning, the respect thing. I just think Triple H goes, dude. I'm not.
Yeah.
I think it's Triple H who. I actually got a funny feeling, like listening to those two guys talk off camera and some of their interviews. I think there would be an argument who's going over of who's going to take the pin.
It'd be like that commercial that the two guys that crashed their cars and they're like, "Oh, I'm at fault." No, good sir, you're at fault.
Yeah, I got a feeling the way those two are, and the way especially Triple H finally grew into this, I think there would be an argument to who would take the win.
I think so.
But I think Undertaker in the end, I think Hunter would convince him to do it, and I think the fans would respect both of them by the end of it.
Oh, for sure.
All right, randomizer. We need a randomizer.
Oh, I thought we were done with that.
No, we need a number.
Another one. Okay, we'll just
all right. Okay. All right, hit the button.
I'm hitting the button.
And
it is.
Okay, randomizer has come up with number 10. Oh boy, Willie, we're gonna throw you way old school.
Oh, I can't even look at your list.
Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Yeah, Abdullah the Butcher. Do you remember him?
Oh, big time.
No pun. So Abdullah the Butcher, what's your thought process?
Well, there's a man who didn't bleeding, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And he just, he was somebody. If I saw him on the street, I'd probably crap myself.
Even now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just has that look like, I'm a big man, but I know for a fact he'd probably eat me alive.
Yeah.
And no pun to Pride Week either. But yeah, he, for his time and what he was extreme before extreme ever came around. He could fight ECW if they ever had it back then.
Right.
Yeah.
And just his willingness to sacrifice his body for it. Like, I don't even know what territory he started in. I just remember
He's
him
Canadian.
suddenly.
Yeah, he is Canadian.
He's Canadian, and he started in the South and stuff. He came.
Yeah.
Maybe Puerto Rico.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, if I look back, look at all the matches he had with Brody, right?
Yeah.
And Berserker, like those. I think what Willie is saying, like I don't know about mainstream guy. I don't know if we would have accepted him as the WWE.
No,
did.
ECW. Willie's got a good point. ECW, like this guy was hardcore before hardcore was a thing.
Yeah, so. I just think if there's a tarnish on him, it's that Hep C thing.
Yeah,
right. That he knew that he had Hep C and he was still bleeding, and I know that there was some issues with Hannibal, and if you're part of feel free to go to Hannibal TV and look up the interviews and how he talks about Abdullah. Hannibal's career kind of came to a screeching halt because of Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And that was he contracted Hep C through one of the matches.
Oh, geez.
With Abdullah. So that was, I know Hannibal has been sort of an advocate of, if you're gonna use like a barbed wire bat, like I'll hit you with the barbed wire bat, but there's no hitting me back. Right. Once that blood has been attained, no one's taken a hit to push your blood into me. And that's sort of where that issue came in. So I think if there's a tarnish on Abdullah the Butcher, it's that knowing he had Hep C or something was wrong. But as a wrestler, he was definitely, and for a big man, that was big extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he could move a little bit too.
And he could move.
I don't recall seeing a lot of his matches, but I think he incorporated. I think he had some martial arts background. And
I don't know. So again, out of let's say a 5-star guy, I'm gonna give him a 3 just because what you said. I wasn't watching a ton of him, but he's definitely an innovator in the extreme market for a big guy. So
for sure. Yeah.
All right, randomizer time.
Okay, let me get the randomizer back up.
Let's number 5. Christian.
Oh, jeez. How did he make the list?
It's a random list. It's well, if I would have had some help with the list, maybe.
Well, you just said, "Oh, I did this list."
Well,
I had no input.
You were sleeping.
Well, I sleep.
I don't.
Well, that's not my fault, Methy Magoo.
I work on this show.
Yes.
Yeah. So Christian, I'm going to start with Christian. I was never a fan.
No.
I don't know. Even when he was with Edge, when he was with Gangrel and those guys, something about Christian, and even now, I find that he annoys me. He still annoys me.
Yeah. Well, his latest gimmick, he's with that Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
So Luchasaurus wins the TNT strap, and when I want this belt, and he's holding the belt the whole time. I was watching it last night. I caught a bit of collision, and yeah.
Oh, so for me, great wrestler, absolutely.
Yeah, he can cut a good promo too,
and cuts
especially
a good promo.
Now,
but now I think
he ripped into Toronto because he's from there.
Yeah.
And just basically told only losers come from Toronto, and the best thing is to get out. And then easy heat. He ripped on the Maple Leafs, and
but I mean, was he lying?
No,
exactly.
Well, it's funny because Jericho too. He came out there, and the whole crowd they sang his song when he came out and everything, and he cut into them, and he's like, "I don't know why you're pandering to me. I'm not from Toronto. I'm from Winnipeg."
Jericho still got it, man. Yeah. But Christian, again, a great promo, good wrestler, just not my thing.
No.
Willie?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of him either. And I'm actually less of a fan of him even now. Like, I find him, like you said, boring on the mic. Like, when they were together with Edge, their promos were stellar. They were hilarious. They were right on. But now, I watched him last night on Collision. Honestly, I zoned out and started looking at my phone. And I don't even really remember anything he was talking about other than when he did rip on Toronto about you finally win the first round in 20 years, and then you go and you blow it and you make yourself look like idiots.
Yeah,
that's Toronto.
That's Toronto.
That's Toronto. He was, again, like I said, he wasn't lying.
No,
he's definitely not lying. So now, to finish off today's Random Rumble and our fantasy match. Yeah, boy, I think I know who's going to go over on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Abdullah the Butcher versus Christian.
Yeah, Abdullah eats Christian for dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would last a few minutes. I think Abdullah would give him his props and let him get some hits in.
Yeah.
Let him get a few moves in.
And then he'd reach into his gitch and pull out the gaff, that fork that he had with all the tape on it, and he'd scrape he'd hard weigh him, and then that'd be it.
Yeah, I think he would teach him a lesson. I do. I really think he would teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
And it seems to be the Abdullah way. So, Willie, I want to thank you for, for calling in, buddy.
Yeah.
It was nice to have you call in. Yeah.
Keeping me as a guest.
Well, listen, do me a favor. You got the number now.
Yep.
Lose it.
Every woman you've ever talked to in a bar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Long Route Willie. That was Long Route Willie. And Willie, I know your real job, and I want you to stay safe on it. And you can call it anytime and chat with us whenever you feel like it, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being on.
Thanks, Willie. Until next time, keep kicking out.
Have a good one.
You too.